Hello children, welcome back. We studied about the nerves and the brain in the previous class. Let's continue with the action in this class. We are going to talk about the types of action in this class. Is that clear? See, our brain is the key member of our nervous system. It controls all our action. Okay, even when you sleep, it keeps working. Okay, you are able to see the dream. It's because of our nervous system. Okay, and few actions are under our control. You can control it. As an individual, you can control few actions, and few actions are not at all under your control. You cannot control it. You cannot ask your digestive system stop digesting. You cannot ask your respiratory system stop breathing. You cannot ask your circulatory system do not supply food to the other organs. Okay, they all keep working on their own. These type of actions are under the control of our nervous system. Okay, we have two types of actions, namely voluntary action and the involuntary action. Okay, we have two types of action, namely voluntary action and the involuntary action. Voluntary action, it is under your control. These actions are controlled by the cerebrum. Okay, for example, lifting your book, putting off the switch, okay, eating the food, or jumping, running, okay, cycling. All these are under your control. These sort of actions are called as the voluntary action, and it's under the control of our cerebrum. Okay, and there are set of action which you cannot do anything, you cannot control at all. That sort of actions are called as involuntary action, and this involuntary action in turn it is divided into two types, namely the automatic action and the reflex action. There are activity which is not under our control. Without our conscious will, there are activities going on in our body. Those sort of activities are called as involuntary action. Okay, and this involuntary action is of two types, namely automatic action and the reflex action. Okay, let's see what is automatic action. The action performed by the individual without his or her conscious thought. Okay, for example, regular beating of our heart. Okay, heart beats 72 times. I remember telling in the first chapter. We breathe 16 times per minute. These are all, it's not under our control. It is not taking place with your own consciousness. Unconsciously, all these activities are happening. These sort of actions are called as what, you know, children? Automatic action. Okay, and the second type of involuntary action are the reflex action. It is the spontaneous, automatic, sudden mechanical response without the will of an individual. Okay, it is a sudden, automatic, spontaneous, mechanical response without the will of the individual is called as reflex action. Okay, in this reflex action, our body may respond to the external stimulus. Okay, because of the sensory nerve, this reflex action happens. Okay, when you touch a hot object, what you do? You pull your hands without your knowledge. Okay, when a dust fall in your eye, you close your eye, you rub your eye. That is also a reflex action. It is a spontaneous, automatic, sudden, mechanical response without the will of the individual is called as what? Reflex action. Is that clear, children? We are done with the second chapter also. In the second chapter, we studied about the nervous system, about the brain, three parts of brain, cerebrum, cerebellum and the medulla oblongata, and all our intelligence, memory, imagination, everything is under the control of cerebrum. Body balance is under the control of our cerebellum. Okay, heartbeat, breathing and all, it's under the control of our medulla oblongata. Then we studied about the peripheral nervous system, about the sensory nerves, motor nerves and the mixed nerves. Then at last we studied about the type of action, namely voluntary and involuntary action. Involuntary action is again into two types, namely automatic and the reflex action. We are done with our chapter 2. Keep listening to the video. Okay, and try understanding it. Is that clear, children? Thank you. Children, I think you have listened to the video. Yes? And now let's start off with the question time. The first question for the day is, which part of our body is the key member of the nervous system? Which part of our body is the key member of the nervous system? The second question, the name of the action which is under our control is dash. The name of the action which is under our control is dash. And the third question, the name of the action which is not under our control is dash. The name of the action which is not under our control is dash. And the fourth question, give some example for voluntary action. Give some example for voluntary action. That is the fourth question. And the fifth question is, what is a reflex action? What is a reflex action? The answer for the fifth question is in page number 27. Refer your content book and write the answer. Is that clear? Fifth question is, what is a reflex action? The answer for this question is in page number 27. Is that clear, children? Okay, bye. Children, in practice zone 2 of page number 28, we have 3 exercises and let's do the first 2 exercises. Okay, the first question is fill in the blanks, and the second one is which kind of action are the following. Okay, the first one is the fill in the blanks. The first question is, rhythmic breathing of the heart is an example of dash action. Rhythmic contraction, that is rhythmic beating of the heart, is an example of dash action. Second question, spinal cord send signal to the muscles by dash nerves. Spinal cord send signal to the muscle by the dash nerves. Third question, action that occur without the conscious will of an individual is known as dash action. Actions that occur without the conscious will of an individual are known as dash action. And the fourth question, a spontaneous response on accidental touching of an hot object is an example of dash action. A spontaneous response on accidental touching of a hot object is an example of dash action. These are the questions under Roman number 1. Okay, and the second Roman 2 is, which kind of action are the following? Okay, the first question is circulation of blood. You should know whether it is a voluntary or involuntary action. Circulation of blood. Second is throwing a stone in the pond. Third, beating of our heart. Fourth, blinking of our eyes. And the fifth one, pulling of hand from a thorn. Okay, first one, circulation of blood. Second one, throwing a stone in the pond. Third one, beating of our heart. Fourth one, blinking of our eyes. And the fifth one, pulling of hand from a thorn. Okay, you should know whether it is a voluntary action or the involuntary action. We have 2 more questions that let's do when we see face to face, because we have to sit and work on it. So let's do after we meet each other. Okay, in practice zone 2, you do question number 1 and question number 2 and come. Okay, children.